They don't have an offense. We're the worst pressured team. We're the most pressured offense in the NFL. We create the less amount of wide receiver separation. And we are inconsistent defensively. Now, because of all of that, the perception of our team right now is definitely the season is over. Not in the locker room, of course, not with Coach Kevin Stefanski, but as our fan base, as the outside analytics will see our football team, that performance was embarrassing. You don't see this team or the perception of this team as a playoff team anymore. They're playing for each other at this point, and it's up to them in that locker room to turn it around, and only them, because we're going to essentially dictate and crucify this team for what they're doing wrong on the football field week after week and showing us that they're a bad program.
How did we get here? How did we get here? I mean, you take a team that fought and clawed their way to get to the playoffs last year, and from day one this season, we've done absolutely nothing. Looked horrible, not able to run the football, and then defense just is out there too much. Too many 3-and-outs. You can't have 2 first downs and 36 yards and a half of football and expect for your defense to hang around all day. It's just pretty much embarrassing. And, and we went through this 4 or 5 years ago where this team just couldn't get things accomplished. And it's sad to say that all of these signings, all of the hoopla, all of the stuff that goes around a football game, this football team has taken a bunch of steps backwards. And the sad thing is next week they're going to Philadelphia. And then they face the 2 teams that's playing 38-35, Baltimore and Cincinnati, back-to-back in their division. So, I mean, I did not expect this organization to put out this product. I thought things were on pace. It looks like offensively we've gotten Dorsey from a fired position in Buffalo, and I don't know whose fault is what. Stefanski, coordinator, quarterback, lineman, garbage. Trash is what the guy would say on TikTok.
Dumpster juice.
Trash.
Dumpster juice.
Yeah, I mean, really, you've got 13, 15, 16, 17, and 18 points scored by an offense that's probably worth $300 million. Yeah. I mean, that's like $1 million a half a point. That's unreal. It's unreal that they perform the way they do. No energy, no nothing. You get a little dancing from the defensive backs early in the game, then all of a sudden they're getting burnt. I mean, there's nothing that holds substance with this football team. And how did you get here? Who's responsible for this, Josh?
Nobody on this team, no position group, no offense or defense is without reproach. We all know the problems on the offense. I want to turn to the defense side of things real quick because that's kind of mostly our only bright side. But as we look at it, they're not the elite bunch of players that we all knew they are. We know who they are, who they can be, the potential, like we're their parents. But the facts are out there. They get gashed unexpectedly and often. They get gashed with huge run plays, huge pass plays. Those aren't signs that are indicative of a great defense, which individually they have the potential to be. They're the same group of guys from last season. They're getting gashed in the run and they're getting gashed in the plays, and they're inconsistent. Yes, they're on the field too long, but great defenses have the stamina and the will to go above and beyond. So are they that or aren't they? But when they are off the field, if the offense can give them more plays in the longer drive, maybe they sustain. But they're inconsistent, and they haven't shown that even if the offense throws them a bone, they can do great things consistently. They may get gashed at any moment from the run or the pass. So defensively, they're not above reproach. Although being the highlight of our team, they still are, at any moment, a pass can get behind them.
But, I think of just about every sport there is. You're playing bad and somebody hits a three-pointer, it ignites your fans, it ignites your team. When you're golfing, you can have a bad tee shot and all of a sudden your second shot is 2 feet from the hole, you get ignited. There was nothing to ignite this football team today. And your offense has to do that. They have to do things to encourage, to enlighten, to do something to make that defense say, okay, we got a breath here. These guys are doing good. We got a chance. But 3 points, and 7 at the end of the game in the fourth quarter. I mean, after a while, I look at them and go, you guys kidding me?
Yeah. Our defense got a turnover. JOK. Yes. Interception on the goal line.
Yes, sir.
They took away points.
Yep.
Yes.
What did we do with that on offense?
Zip.
Nothing.
Do-da-day.
Nothing.
All right, Giannino's Pizzeria. 5th quarter is underway. We will be going back to the nation's capital to hear from Kevin Stefanski and Deshaun Watson and anyone else that goes to that podium there was an exchange between Stefanski and the quarterback that we need to talk about because I'm pretty sure it's going to come up there with the reporters. Stick around. We're off and running on 43.
The Injury Report, sponsored by the man that makes them pay, Tim Misney.
All right, here's what happened today. Denzel Ward, hamstring. Delpit, head injury. Charlie Hewitt, he's the long snapper. You kind of need that guy. Ribs. JOK had some cramps. Obo, a concussion. So other than the 34-13 shellacking, there's all that.
I just don't see, when we look at our football team on paper, again, that means nothing now because who they are, who we thought they are, they aren't. It's hard for me to give a honest critique of them when I know this guy can. Where was our stars? Where was the talent? Reggie just said our offense is stacked with cash, not just our QB. Judy got paid. He dropped a ball in the end zone. Yep. We lead the league in drop balls. But yet we'll blame our quarterback interception. Our offensive line, they're one of the most highest paid guys. But if you can see on the other side of the line, Hudson, a backup, been in our league for years, been on our team for years. He lets us an easy stunt. Who we, as the fans, we see the stunt happening in 4 hours. We're like, oh, that's an easy stunt. Nothing.
How about that?
Guys getting to the quarterback. Where were our stars?
These are the same numbers he had when the game started.
Is Myles Garrett not hurt?
Well,
is he hurt?
He said this week he's the best. It's the best he's felt in a year. I don't know if I believe that, and frankly, I'm not sure what that even means because I don't know how he's felt in the last year. Because right now he's been feeling pretty bad.
But Reggie, they know we have Myles Garrett. They know who we have on our team. If you saw how they lined up against them, it wasn't all single coverage. Daniels knew who he was over there.
No one is scared of nobody on our team that suits in our 53-guy mind roster. And that's the unfortunate part, is that we have nothing sticking out that says that we're ready to play football at 1 o'clock on Sundays. And the thing is, can Coach Stefanski figure it out? It's one of those things that how good are you as a coach now? Okay, everybody can win from the front, but can you win from the back? Because this is trouble. Yeah. This is trouble internally, because I can tell you now, those guys are going to start talking to their friends, and it's going to bleed somewhere else, because that is embarrassing. And I apologize to the city of Cleveland for being able to put that mess out there and perform the way they did. And the fact that we have not scored over 18 points in 5 games.
It's ridiculous.
It's horrible.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Horrible.
All right, so there was a moment in this game where the Browns had 1st and goal on the 2, and this was the way it played out. 1st and goal on the 2, delay of game. 1st and goal on the 7, a timeout. You just came out of a delay of game and burned a timeout. Then they had a sack. Then Judy dropped the touchdown. Then an incomplete pass. Then it looked like they were going to go for it on 4th down because you need touchdown because you're down thousands. Watson is seen like pointing out on the field with doing this kind of thing with Stefanski, then walks off the field. Right, and you can see Stefanski covered his mouth to say something to him.
You know,
that is not normal.
No.
If you're a bad football team, it's right on your wheelhouse. Right now, they are trash. I mean, I don't want to sugarcoat it. I guarantee you Stefanski won't come out on the podium and say, guys, we're trash. He's a coach that's going to say, you know, we got to do better, but it's going to start with him. We've heard it before, but in the locker room, Reggie just said it. There's some turmoil that's going to bleed off.
Oh, yeah.
Because they can see the issues.
Oh, yeah.
They see that if guys aren't lining up, and Watson, and we'll say that he walked off, because that's an ordinary situation. You're supposed to take not give a timeout, take the delay game and kick a field goal. But guys weren't where they're supposed to be. The play probably didn't get called as it was supposed to be. There were guys looking like, what am I supposed to do?
The simplicity of this is that you have OTAs in the offseason to get alignments, assignments, adjustments, kind of understand how the offense is run. Then you have a mini camp after you draft guys. Then you have another camp for all the new guys working with the vets. And then you have training camp. And normally in training camp, everybody on the first team plays together, understands what's going on, makes their calls, have some form of a rhythm. We did not play as all 11 on offense or defense in the preseason, which let's just say we had no preseason. And the last 4 games have been preseason, and this is what we got. No one has learned nothing. No one has elevated their game. No one has done anything that makes me make sense that this team is going to win 5 games this year. And how they do that, I don't even know, because they look pretty bad being able to sit there and not. I saw a play where Deshaun was sacked, and the running back was on top of him. The lineman was behind him, and there was 3 Washington Commandos on top of all of them. I mean, the guy tackled 3 players.
And yet,
like little league.
They'll say it's Deshaun's fault that he sacked himself, or that, and that's the issue. It's not one player, but it's most certainly not the quarterback if he's getting hit the majority of the time as soon as he dropped back. And if I had to fix one thing, first it'd be the offensive line, because you can't run or pass without it. And then it'd be just the play calling. Those would be the 2 top things, because beyond that, we're the most drop balls in the league.
I don't really know what kind of offense you're running.
What can you do?
And I'm going to say this because I'm going to say it. Dorsey was with Buffalo. Buffalo fired him. Buffalo got better. We hired him, and we got worse. Now, it's just, baby, this is like elementary school stuff.
Yeah.
Something ain't cooking right in the kitchen, baby. Somebody's got to figure something out, Josh. I mean, somebody's doing something wrong.
All right, I'm laughing because I'm trying not to cry about it. You know, I wanted to turn the TV off as most of our fans wanted to do. They put the bags on their face in D.C. I'm from Washington, so most of I'm hearing it from everybody from D.C. right now.
I've been texting all day.
They're calling me and like, what your boys doing?
Sponsored by your local Northern Ohio Buick GMC dealer.
That's what we'll focus on. But have to play better, have to coach better, all the above. When you're playing a good football team, and we didn't do that today, which is, again, disappointing, frustrating, but we'll stick together and we'll find some solutions. With that, I'll take any questions.
What is the biggest thing that you
Yeah, hard to say. I mean, just have to play better.
Now it's the post-game reaction, sponsored by your local Northern Ohio Buick GMC dealer.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about not putting him in harm's way.
Did you consider a change before that?
No. I mean, yeah, obviously in that 4th quarter, we discussed it.
Given the struggles of the offense, how do you think significant changes are needed? And is the quarterback change something that you'll consider?
Yeah, we're not changing quarterbacks. We need to play better. I need to coach better, and that's really what it is.
Kevin, what happened at the end of the drive, the first drive, and the second half?
Yeah, obviously there was some we had a penalties and some miscommunications, which are completely on me. I'll take responsibility for all of that. That looks like losing football to me. I'll get it fixed.
You said you want to change the quarterback. When you look at what's happening on offense, both today and overall, how much of it do you attribute to quarterback play, and how much is the rest of the offense?
We need to play better as an offense. We need to be able to move the ball on first and second down, convert when we get to third down, score in the red zone. We're not doing that. We need to play better as an offense. We need to coach better as an offense.
Okay, but what happened toward after the fourth fumble recovery being second half? You guys get down to the second 2-yard line, and it seemed like there was some miscommunication.
Just address that.
I mean,
Yeah. But, yeah, again, just going back, had a penalty, then a miscommunication, which is my responsibility.
Why did Deshaun walk off the field on the fourth?
We had the wrong amount of people in the huddle, and then at that point, we were just going to kick the field goal.
Okay. And then there were several times there were 12 men on the field, so these procedural penalties.
Yeah, it's really frustrating, Mary Kay. We will get that fixed. Before you beat anybody, you got to stop beating yourself.
Kevin, what do you think of Dayton Daniels?
Yeah, obviously, had a ton of respect for him coming into this game. He made plays. He was hard to tackle. We had free runners there, and we couldn't get him on the ground. He's just very athletic, made good decisions, good throws.
To make matters worse, now we seem to have lost Denzel Ward to a hamstring, and then Kosick left again. Can you just run through some of those things?
Yeah, injury-wise, like you mentioned, Poe, we'll look at his knee. Denzel had a hamstring there in the game. We'll have to MRI all those and see what they are.
What do you account for the bad effort?
Bad result, I would say, certainly. But I wouldn't call it bad effort. The guys are doing what we're asking them to do. We got beat. That's what it is. Got out-coached, outplayed.
Coach, what did the Commanders' defense do to kind of complicate things for the Browns?
Yeah, obviously, credit to them that they did a nice job keeping, certainly rushing the passer. We didn't do a good enough job protecting the quarterback, but we have to find a way to stay on the football field as an offense.
Is that one of the reasons why you say we're not changing quarterbacks, because you can see that Deshaun is kind of under siege, not able to really run this game?
Yeah, we need to play better. This is not a one-person issue on offense. We have the guys, we have the coaches. We will get it fixed.
What about you guys went in with a point of emphasis to tackle much better than last week? What's going on there?
Yeah, obviously, like you said, Mary Kay, was an emphasis for us. That's the quarterback's hard to get on the ground. We had free runners a couple times, and we didn't get them on the ground, and that's disappointing.
Do you think the team is still buying into what you're trying to do on offense?
Yeah, I think we need to play better, Tony. I really just feel like we have guys that are preparing the right way. We got to put them in position as coaches, and we have to play better. It's as simple as that.
And just making plays when the plays need to be made, right? I mean, Jerry Jeudy dropped one in the end zone.
Yeah, it's again. I know it's easy to single people out and start with me, single me out. I need to get it fixed.
Coach, it's still early in the season, but a lot of talk about Jaden Daniels, possible rookie MVP candidate. What did you kind of instill in the guys and prepare beforehand when you were facing him, and also what did you see today on the sideline?
Yeah, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, I have a ton of respect for this team, for that young man. He's playing at a high level. We had our opportunities, but he did a nice job.
Would you say you're shocked by what's going on, or did you see this coming?
Yeah, I mean, it honestly doesn't matter. Nobody likes where we are. Listen, I don't feel good about 1-4. Right, it eats at you, but we're solutions based. We got to find a way. We got to find a way together. That's what we'll do.
What's your message to the team at home for?
Yeah, that's a group that's hurting. Nobody likes where you are, but we got to own it. Can't hide from it, and we just got to get it fixed and get it fixed fast.
1 for 13 on third down. It's just not that matter of just being in too many third and longs.
It's a combination of everything. We absolutely have to be better. When we get down in those distances that are lower, we have to convert. We have to protect the quarterback better. It's all of the above. It's disappointing.
Good.
Okay, thanks, guys.
5 words I am tired of hearing. We need to play better. If that were a drinking game in Cleveland this year, people would be having a rough time right about now after the press conference. No kidding. And how about the part where he's addressing the thing with Watson that I talked about, with the back and forth with him, and then he covers his mouth and all he says is, yeah, we had the wrong personnel on the field and yada yada. There is no way the only thing they were talking about there was the wrong personnel. Something is wrong with that relationship.
Okay. I mean,
am I wrong?
It's wrong with the team.
And
it's not just them two.
When you're losing and playing the way they're playing, everything's wrong. There's no way around it. I mean, I'm sure they see things that Deshaun's not doing well, that he's seeing the receivers not doing well. They see coaches not making the right calls. Everybody right now is going to say where the problem is. That is human nature. Until they start to win some games, because I can guarantee you, as long as they keep losing, they're going to still keep trying to find ways to get out of it. It ain't all me. It ain't all me. The whole time it's all everybody.
And it's just so easy to blame one person, and that's what Kevin Stefanski alluded to. He said, blame me. And, oh, yeah, we are.
You get yours.
You get yours. But it's just so sweet. It's just so sweet to keep blaming the quarterback. And I don't want to put any quarterback in that offensive line.
I got to go to break here. We'll more to discuss. I'm certainly not only blaming Deshaun Watson, but the criticism aimed at him is because they're paying him a lot of money, and he's not good at football. Stick around.
Bob.
The reason why I keep
All right, let's look around the North. The Steelers play tonight. That's in prime time against Dallas. The Ravens just got past Cincinnati in overtime, and if Bengals feel like they're done at that point.
Aren't you a Bengals fan?
I was born down there.
Sorry,
It's been a rough. Browns fans aren't the only ones that have experienced a lot of pain over the years.
I was born a Commanders fan.
So. And, oh, my goodness. So, the North right now, it looks like the Ravens, they're separate a bit with that win. And the Browns, the one win, they fall to now 1-5. And there is 1-4. Week 5. There's no end in sight here.
They're going to have to
Philly
beat some
next
teams.
week. Then they got the Bengals and the Ravens. 1-4. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. Felt like it was 1-5.
You know something I noticed, like the game today, and I just saw the score. I didn't see the actual game. It was Jacksonville and Indianapolis, and we beat Jacksonville. But some of these teams that aren't playing that well, not every week are they scoring under 20 points. Like they have a week where they score 3 or 4 touchdowns, or they do something spectacular. I haven't seen that out of our team at all. Like there's nothing to look forward to. There's no highlights. There's just a whole bunch of lowlights, and it's unfortunate because there's teams with worse records than ours, but they played in tighter games.
Yeah.
We're not even playing tough football, and I blame it. And I mean, you got to go from the responsibility of the guy who picked the people, the guy who coaches the people, and then the people who make the plays. And that means that's everybody. Something is mixed up wrong in Berea, and until the smart guy comes in, I don't know who that is, or the guy with the bigger integrity of we're going to do this, we're going to get our hands together. You could go 1-14, 1-15, and be looking at the league pass you by.
One thing that we have to do, as football fans and as commentators, we have to give credit where credit is due. The Washington Commanders were as advertised. Jaden Daniels, he is a guy on the rise. He is taking his football team somewhere this year as they haven't been in many years. They ran the ball well. And it seems like that's indicative of whoever plays the Browns. Whenever a team struggles in something, when they play us, they all of a sudden do better. Last week, the Raiders weren't good rushing the football, and Madison took off on us, and they got their running attack good. This week, they weren't good at pressuring the quarterback or defending our receivers NFL-wide. And guess what? Today, they shut us down. So it's not just coaching. It's something that we always have to give credit to. Washington Commanders came out to play football. We didn't.
In this Little League football, college, high school, no matter where you go, offensive and defensive line make the decision of what teams are going to win or lose. And we are going to be horribly bad until we fix our offensive line woes. It is just a matter of fact with football.
It's been terrible. We are waiting for Deshaun Watson to take the podium. We will get there as soon as he does. We continue after this on the Giannino's Pizzeria, fifth quarter. All right, these are the numbers today for Amari Cooper. David Njoku did come back. It combined 5 catches, 74 yards, no touchdowns. The average looked just fine. All right, you guys both played a lot of offense. If you had to try to fix this right now, where are you going?
I'm going with morale. I'm going to go take my football team and have some fun. They know how to play football. They're not cohesive as a group. Like, when are these guys out there having fun? If I'm coach, I want to put some trick plays in there. I want to let them know that it's more than just football. You guys have to trust each other as a teammate, as coaches. So all of them have to, if I'm the head coach, if I'm the leader of this team, captain, head coach, or whatever, we need to get these guys together and have some fun and bring back some of what they had in previous time. Deshaun may need to lead this because regardless of what they're doing, they're not having any type of fun. They're dropping passes that aren't really indicative of these receivers. Deshaun, he's scrambling and not trusting the offensive line, rightfully so, but there's no trust. The offensive line have to make a commitment to each other, and it's the whole team. So I would just take this team and go bowling. Take this team on a work day and go paintballing and have some fun, because they're obviously forgot who they playing for, why they playing for, and how many people love them as a fan base. Because right now, what they're putting out there on the field, that's not it.
I like what Josh just said. It's just that I'm like a small college guy. You know, we didn't even have. I played in a high school for 3 years in college, and I'm looking at the guys and the contracts and the cities that they're having opportunity to play for. It is a job. This is a job. I'm going to get in that room. I'm going to find out what the mistakes are. I'm going to point the guys out. I'm going to put everybody on blast, even myself if I'm the head coach, of mistakes that I made, because there's no way we should be first and goal on the 2 and end up on the 7 kicking a field goal. I need these adults that get paid the money to play football to play football. That's it. I think that's great. I think that at some point all that brings a lot of camaraderie along with the team. Yep. But right now we are horrible. We are making dumb mistakes, penalties, drop balls. All the fundamental things in football that should be done aren't being done. That means we got to correct it and look at the coach first, and then it goes downhill. And that's just a matter of fact.
Didn't we have this conversation?
I ain't babying grown men no more. I ain't babying them no more.
But we had this conversation last week.
I think we had it this morning.
We had this conversation against the Giants. We should have beat them. We should have beat the dog piss out of them. But we haven't. We're not playing up to our talent. Why is that? Why can't we do the simple things?
And I mean, look bad too, Josh.
And look
that's
terrible.
The part. Yeah.
Right.
That's
as a team. As a team, so they're not. That's like this organization here at this news station.
Have you no honor?
Exactly. Having problems at each level. It's not one person. Yeah. At each level, it's like in a disarray. It's like they're actively being sabotaged. And it's not one person. And that's the problem. You can't just, as a coach, say, I'm going to fix that and we're good. Mm-hmm. Nah, you need to start over. You need to take everything that you have and the game plan, the whole philosophy, and throw it in the trash and rewrite it.
I wonder if we're always talking about leadership, and I don't know if it's the time for that, but I wonder if there's 3 or 4 guys that sit around and talk veterans on this team, and sometimes I don't even think it has to be veterans to be leaders, and they sit down and go and sit down with Stefanski or sit down with somebody of power in the organization. Listen, what do we got to do to right this ship? There's a lot of things we see. There's a lot of things that's not right. What do you need from us? Because somewhere they're going through the motions of playing football, but they're not being directed to perform properly. Because there's no way. We're in week 5, and they're making bonehead mistakes. I mean, these are serious business. We're down. We're on the 2-yard line. We go in this score here. We got something going. We're ready to go. And no, you go backwards.
They got reigning coach of the year. We got to go to a break. Then we'll come back.
Coach of the year.
Coach of the year and assistant of the year in Jim Schwartz. All this stuff still going on. Still waiting on the podium for Deshaun Watson.
You throw those away because this is a new year.
And it's a bad one. Giannino's Pizzeria, 5th quarter, continues after this.
Don't listen to the outside world, regardless of what it is. So, that's all I can do is worry about what I can control.
Deshaun, you said you guys got to find out what you're great at and stick with it. What are you great at?
So we're trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure that out, And we need reps. We need time. We need to sit down and with the coaching staff and figure that out.
How do you assess your own play in the context of everything that's going on offensively?
I'm doing what I need to do as far as just trying to get the ball out as fast as possible, get the ball to the guys, make the correct reads. Not everything's going to be perfect, but at the same time, try to create and make plays whenever nothing is there.
Is there anything else that you can do besides trying to get the ball out quicker that you've been doing to try to give this offense a lift, give this team a lift?
No. We'll see when we watch the tape tomorrow.
What happened to that one sequence down by the goal line early in the second half after you got the turnover, then got down to the 2-yard line? And there was some confusion, especially on the right before the field goal.
We had a false start, too many men in a huddle, and that was it.
And why do you think you guys are making those kinds of mistakes, which are really kind of killing this offense? But what's going on? Procedural penalties, all different kinds of penalties, and mental mistakes. How do you attribute that?
I don't know. We just gotta lock in. That's all I can say right now.
Entering the season, what was the hope for the idea, kind of like the vision of this offense in your eyes?
We wanted to be explosive like every other offense, and right now we're not doing that. So we got to figure out how teams are going to play us. A lot of teams are playing, too high safety, so we got to run the ball, and then we got to do that early, and we got to do that often. So for us to be able to take the shots and be explosive downfield, we got to be able to, get those guys to step up and take those shots.
What about being able to run the ball? I know you guys are waiting for Nick Chubb to come back, but it might be too late. You could go a few more games without Nick to run the ball.
I want to say we're waiting for Nick. We respect Nick. We know Nick is coming back from that injury, but that's more the media. That's more you guys saying that we need to wait for Nick. We trust in Foreman. We trust in Pierre. We trust in Rome. So, we just got to, find ways to create those big explosive plays in the run game. Of course, when Nick gets back, we're going to love Nick. We're going to, support him and bring him along. So, but like you said, the first part we already knew that Nick is going to be out a couple weeks. So, we gotta pick up the slack.
Deshaun, if Dorsey brought all this new stuff in, should he be the one calling the plays?
That's a Kevin question.
Deshaun, a lot of talk about Jaden Daniels possibly being Rookie of the Year MVP. It's still a long season. What did you see from him today?
Jaden's a guy who's playing confident. He's out there, he's doing whatever he needs to do for that team, and he's been very, very productive. So, you got to give him props for that.
What gives you the faith and confidence that at 1-4 that you guys can get this turnaround and accomplish your goals this season?
You just got to believe. You got to keep that faith. You got to believe, and each week is just another opportunity. You never know what's going to happen. So that's all we can do is just keep believing, keep just putting in the work and trying to find ways to get better.
Was Washington's defense doing anything that you didn't expect? And anything not show up on film that you?
Outside of just bringing a little bit more pressure than what they usually do or the percentages do, they did what they did. Played a lot of cover two, picked their spots when they played man, did a lot of disguising, and that was pretty much it. They brought a little bit more pressure than expected, but especially in empty, they were really pretty much play their calls, but made us hot and knew our kind of reads and things like that. So biggest thing to get the ball out of my hands. So that's what they wanted to do.
Deshaun, New York did the same thing, where they increased the amount of pressure than what you had expected. Do you think that's the book out now against you guys, is increase the pressure kind of more than what teams normally do, even teams that don't normally bring a lot of pressure? That's a strategy. Get the ball out of my hands, and they gotta, they're relying on their secondary and their defense to rally and make tackles. So, we gotta find ways to be able to support that. Sometimes we're gonna be hot, so I gotta get the ball and throw it to my running back or tight end, things like that, and we gotta make plays until we, hit explosive or pick up the games and the pressure. Teams probably gonna continue to do that.
7 more sacks for you today for a total of 26.
Yeah, I just have to figure out tomorrow, when I get into the treatment and regen and, see how my body feels and just try to recover throughout the week to be ready for Sunday.
Deshaun, a lot of guys are saying they felt like the week of preparation was really good. It's maybe just not translating to the field, but does anything need to change in terms of the messaging and the work you guys are putting in, anything to sort of change what those results are on Sundays?
Change? I don't know. I don't know about change. Maybe, but I agree with the team. I mean, the week was really, really good on both sides, really all three phases. But, we got to apply it on Sundays. And right now, we just haven't been able to do that the last couple of weeks, is to apply that good week of work and preparation on Sundays. So that's why I don't know if anything needs to change other than we just got to put in we got to execute that plan that we've been putting in the work all week on Sundays. That's pretty much it when our matchups.
It still seems like when a play is there, sometimes the play isn't getting finished. Jerry dropped the touchdown pass, and I know there will be a number of plays like that this season. How frustrating is it, or what can you do so that you guys can finish those plays?
I honestly didn't even see the Jerry. I honestly thought I missed through it. I didn't know he dropped it. So I thought that, honestly, I thought that was my fault. But, yeah, I mean, the plays are there. We just got to finish them. I think that's the biggest thing. So.
And do you have everything you need, all the personnel that you need to get the job done?
I mean, that's what I feel like, but we'll see. I leave that personnel stuff to Kevin and AB. Right? My job is to go out there and execute with the guys that I have out there with me.
Deshaun Kevin said that everybody needs to play better. So when you're assessing yourself, what do you think you need to do better?
Yeah, I mean, continue to lead this offense and play better. This offense is it's going to go as far as I go. So at the end of the day, if we're not doing enough offensively as a quarterback, you take all the pressure, you take all the heat, you take all the blame. So, I got to find ways to bring everybody else along with each other and how we can go out here on Sundays and eliminate all the self-inflicted mistakes that's going to cause us to get behind the 8 ball and put ourselves in situations that we don't want to be in.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's Deshaun Watson. We usually get Myles Garrett at the podium. Traditionally, we have. We'll see if that plays out today. We've got about another 15 minutes or so left in the show. 34-13 the final today. Browns dump trucked by the Commanders. You guys were talking during the press there. It's not even just that they're losing. Sometimes you lose pretty and you still feel good. You're that close at this play. There is absolutely nothing we have seen. Oh, hold on. We got Myles. Let's go to Myles Garrett.
I'm sending it here.
Oh, good idea.
Does it feel like more of this each week? I mean, each game, as you guys have kind of gone through this week, does it seem like almost the same game just a week later, and the way it kind of unfolds and what ultimately costs you guys to win?
No, it definitely felt different. No. It was no good in that one. Not offense, defense, special teams. We failed ourselves, and we expect more out of each and every individual. We have a standard, and we didn't live up to that.
With the expectations that you probably have for this team coming into the season, how surprised are you to be in the situation you're in right now?
Definitely wasn't on my bingo card for how we're going to start the season, but standard doesn't change. The expectations don't change. Just got to go get it out the mud now. We're not starting like we wanted to, but we can still end up where we hope to if we get it all together and we start playing how we know we can play.
You guys started off the way that you wanted to. Right now, Z's big sack, then JOK made some nice plays. So it seemed like the game plan was there for the most part, and then came out again in the second half with JOK getting the turnover. But just down for down, you you guys are still having problems tackling. Do you think that's probably the biggest problem?
I mean, it is one of the problems that we're having, but I mean it's not all there is to it. You know, we got to be in the right positions. You know, it makes tackling a lot easier when you're where you need to be, and you're squaring the guy instead of trying to run across the field to make that tackle. So we just got to be where we need to be and execute.
You looked at film of this first month and then you're on the field. Do you feel like offenses are better prepared for what you guys are trying to do out there as a defense?
I mean, I think there's more film on us and what we do well, and they definitely use that to their benefit. But I also think we're not playing to the standard which we set last year. I think we've taken a step back up to this point. So we have to find what we lost last year and then improve upon that. So we have to go back and soul search.
What did you observe about Jaden Daniels?
I mean, he wasn't flustered by the pressure. We had a lot of pressure. We had a lot of times where there were guys in his face, free hitters, him making plays with his feet, moving out of the pocket, getting to his throwing arm, and getting the ball downfield. So there was pressure, and we had to make those plays. But he made them himself.
When you guys are getting takeaways as a defense, and then the offense isn't able to do anything with those, I guess for you guys as a group, is there any danger of frustration creeping in that, we have to go out there again and get another stop and another stop? Is there any danger of that snowballing?
There's no frustration in what they're doing. We got to take care of our own business. It's complimentary football. If they're not having a great day, so we got to have a better day. And we didn't do that. We started out, getting stops, holding them, making them punt, getting takeaways. But we got to continue to do that. Doesn't matter if they don't have the most points this week. If we hold them to less, then we did our job. But we can't keep on looking at the offense and keep on expecting more. We have to expect more out of ourselves. We all have a job to do individually and as a team.
Coach says he's not making a change at quarterback. Just your thoughts on how Deshaun's out there fighting through another 7 sacks and how hard he's playing for you guys.
I mean, playing his ass off. I mean, he's fighting to be out there, and he's go out there trying to make plays, and that's what we ask of him. And just want to continue to lead and go out there and do the best he can. We're going to get it right, and he's going to be a part of that.
Myles, the consensus kind of in the locker room is that guys feel that with work, the week of practice, things seem to be going really well. They feel like they're putting in good work, but then it's just not translating to the field. Is anything from your perspective maybe change in terms of the messaging, preparation, or what you guys are doing, so that changes and you actually are seeing the results on Sundays?
I mean, we've talked enough over the last 2 weeks. There's been a lot of conversation, from offense, defense, the defense meeting room. Had enough talk. Just go out there and do your job, individually and as a team.
Myles, you guys had a number of 12 men on the field, penalties and things like that. Are those the kinds of things that just are unacceptable at this point, procedural stuff?
Definitely unacceptable. I mean, hold ourselves to, like I said, a higher standard than that. We got to be smarter than that. Those are just little things that compound and lead to longer drives, lead to easier first down for them, and them getting the ball in the end zone, which they did way too frequently. So we can't beat them and beat ourselves. We have to figure our own stuff out before we can even go out there and be who we want to be.
Myles, I know you guys obviously have all the division games left. You have a daunting part of the schedule moving. So I guess what does the mentality need to be so that a 1-4 start doesn't become overwhelming?
It's a challenge we asked for at the beginning of the season. No matter what the record says, you got to go out there and play your ass off. you're only as good as you are when you as you play on Sunday. So when you go out there and people look down on you as a record and as a team, they can get punched in the mouth just like anyone else. And right now we're taking the punches, but we're gonna get on our shit and start doing what we're supposed to. But when we get to Sunday and we start executing, we'll be the team we need to be. We're just not there right now.
Updated standings. Pittsburgh, Baltimore starting to separate. Steelers play tonight in prime time against Dallas. Ravens, a big overtime win over the Bengals. And we all know what happened to the Browns. Giannino's fifth quarter returns after this.